Everybody knows it's coming to an end. They're grabbing the silverware and heading for the fire exits.
Absolutely, which I'm saying this is positive. It's better than them getting their system through. But when it collapses, we want to ensure they don't build something worse on top of the ashes.
That's absolutely correct. What we, the American people, need to be doing right now, very seriously, is deciding what kind of a nation we're going to want in the next chapter of the history of the North American continent. There are going to be all kinds of carpetbaggers walking around here saying, I've got a ready-made solution, a brand new government, just plug it in and everything will be fine. And you know that they'll be plugging in something that will serve their interest and not that of the people. And you just know there's going to be people walking around and say, well, you know, you are all honor-bound to honor the debts of the previous government. No, we're not. It's all an onerous debt anyway. The whole point of having one government collapse and starting a new one is everybody gets a clean start. It's like the ancient Roman Jubilee. All debts are wiped out. Everybody gets to start.
But that's the crazy thing, Mike, is they've set up Northcom and the police state, and Thomas Barnett and others at the Pentagon admit that this whole thing is to extract the money from us, money we don't owe to these banks. They just made all these derivatives up. I mean, you know, I don't think Northcom is going to carry it out, no matter how many flus they stage, how many terror attacks they stage. I don't see this working. We got Rock Howard, the chairman of the Travis County Libertarian Party, coming up. Mike, stay there. We're going to talk to him briefly about this staged event. The media is saying it's staged, which it wasn't staged. They tried to blame the Libertarians for it. Stay with us.
This is Alex Jones. Have you heard of the Millionaire Patriot? Well, you should. He has a free handgun and 5 days of firearms training waiting for you. That's right. You can attend 5 days of world-class gun training at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute and secure a 30-state concealed weapons permit, all for pennies on the dollar. Plus, if you act fast, the Millionaire Patriot will give you a free Springfield Armory XD pistol in the caliber of your choice. I believe now is the time that you and your family need to be armed and trained to levels that exceed law enforcement and military standards. Front Sight provides such training without any boot camp mentality or drill instructor attitudes. This is real. Don't miss out. Secure a Front Sight defensive handgun course, plus a 30-state concealed weapons permit for pennies on the dollar, and get your free handgun. Go to frontsight.com today. That's FRONTSIGHT.com. Go to frontsight.com for your training and free gun.
Rivero will be with us some in the next hour. Coming up, I'm going to play the video clips of Senator Cornyn being booed off the stage, Rick Perry being booed. I could play clip after clip of Republicans being booed at Tea parties because the people know they support open borders, socialized health care, all this control. So the media is lying and saying these booing events are staged, A. Then B, they're lying and saying that it's partisan. It's across the board. Now, Austin Campaign for Liberty, local Ron Paul group, they did send a few people out there. But you watch the crowd of hundreds, and my neighbor was there. Almost all of them are chanting and booing and chasing him out when he told the crowd, this is confirmed on local news, I don't care what you want, I'm going to pass the health care. And so Mike Rivero riding shotgun with us with a video connection on the radio at prisonplanet.tv. Rock Howard joining us for this segment and a little bit of the next. And those video clips are coming up. Rock Howard, chairman of the Travis Libertarian Party, it's great to have you on with us.
Hi, Alex. How you doing?
Good. I heard Saturday night you were being blamed by Lloyd Doggett, the Libertarians, of staging this. I heard you on News Radio 590 AM, one of our local affiliates, last night, saying nobody called us, we didn't put an email out. So they're desperate to say that citizens don't spontaneously boo, and this has become a national story. Rock Howard, did the Libertarian Party stage this?
Alex, we did not. We did not discuss this event or urge our people to go. Of course, we always urge our members to be active politically and to voice their opinions. But no, this was not coordinated by us in any way.
Well, isn't that the other big issue? The media, I don't know if you've seen the same reports I've seen nationally and locally, they keep acting like it's dirty to shout and chant, just say no, as Doggett's leaving. I thought that's as American as baseball and apple pie.
Well, I tend to agree. I mean, if Doggett doesn't want to be a representative and listen to all the voices, then he can certainly resign.
Well,
that's what it means to be a representative, is to listen to all your constituents, and it sounds like he's having a tough time doing that.
Well, he only mailed this out to constituents because Rob Dew, my producer, his wife is a Democrat, registered Democrat, and they filled it out and said, we disagree with everything you're doing in the Fed. We don't want socialist health care, and mailed it in to him. I almost sent cameras but didn't have the crews because my two crews were in different parts of the country filming for a movie we're making, a film we're making. But Rock Howard, to you, what does this signify in America that Congressman Castle's booed off the stage, Senator Specter's booed off the stage? I mean, Republicans and Democrats. I mean, have you seen the video of Cornyn being booed off the stage at the Tea Party? I mean, this is bipartisan. They want to make it a partisan issue. Why? Are they trying to prop up the political facade?
Well, I can't speak to that, but I can say that, yes, I've seen the events with Cornyn. I had close friends and members of our party were at both the Cornyn event and this latest event with Doggett. And we don't see it as a partisan thing. We see it as the citizens trying to take action. And I think what I'm hoping that might be behind this, and people might get the idea, is, you know, maybe it's time in America we did, like George Washington suggested, and just get away from political parties, because it's not proving to be helpful for anything we need to accomplish.
Yeah, we need to get away from parties and get into issues. And until, you know, the first few presidents, it wasn't a party issue, and then it becomes this Coke versus Pepsi, Chevy versus Ford, instead of going, hey, the same guy owns both factories. Or it's like Don King boxing with these two parties. We need to get rid of Don King. Stop talking about Republican versus Democrat and talk about the manager of the fight.
And that, of course, is the exact reason that we released our statement, is the Libertarian Party is just simply not interested in getting into those Coke versus Pepsi style arguments that have no substance and are all about labels. The other thing that you see, the undercurrent in the media that's very distressing, is this undercurrent that somehow all of these events are racist in nature, and that people are really upset because Obama happens to be black.
Oh.
And I think that's very disparaging, and I see that undercurrent in the media all over the place. That seems to be the Democratic response to a lot of these events.
You know, that is such a big issue and so obvious that I psychologically have kind of ignored it because it's so asinine. I don't want to live under socialism. I don't want open borders. I don't want to turn my guns in. I don't want to cap and trade only on the U.S. that'll admittedly double our energy prices on electricity alone. And I've been on Democratic radio stations, and they go, are you a racist? And I'm going, what is this about? I don't want these policies. Rock Howard, do a few more minutes with us. I want Mike Rivero to pop in and comment on that. I don't think this is going to work, though, shouting people down as racist if they don't want to turn their guns in. We'll be right back with Rock Howard, chairman of the Travis Libertarian Party. Mike Rivero, whatreallyhappened.com.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
Mike Rivero riding shotgun with us into the next hour. We're going to open the phones up on the collapse of the establishment. Both parties propping each other up, trying to divert the population with this Cowboys versus Redskins, Steelers versus the Giants distraction. And that's all that's happening here. Rock Howard, you were bringing up this race issue, and you're right. I go on Air America type stations in L.A., in Dallas, in New York, and I'll be on talking about the cap and trade and how bad it is for industry, and they say, caller after caller says, why do you hate black people? Why are you a racist? And I always say, well, I'm not on about that. I mean, this is like some type of cult or something. I've never heard it this crazy. Is the Libertarian Party getting accused of this?
I haven't seen that particular accusation, but we've been lumped in with a lot of other people they want to attack, like conservatives and so forth. And the presumption just seems to be they seem to have a talking point right now that anybody who disagrees with us is a racist. And that's a pretty difficult thing to overcome, but, you know, it's pretty standard political practice.
But I also see it backfiring. I mean, anybody with half a brain is going to get sick of that. And by overusing the term racist, I think in a lot of ways it's actually legitimizing a lot of real racists because people are just sick of it. I mean, I think they're really crying wolf on this. I've got one more question for you in a moment, Rock, and I want to fire out the Libertarian Party Travis County site and the national site as well. But I wanted to go back to Mike Rivero. We've got the head of the Libertarian Party here in Austin on dealing with this. Do you have any questions for him, Mike Rivero?
Well, I don't have a question, but I do have a comment, and you're absolutely right. This thing about screaming racism when any comment or criticism is directed at Obama's policies is going to backfire, mostly because, to use another example, Israel has for decades, anytime you comment or criticize their actions in Palestine or Lebanon, they come back and they say, oh, you just hate the Jewish people, you're anti-Semite, blah, blah, blah. And they've so burned it out that it's not effective anymore. And people are recognizing that it was just another way of dodging the argument and trying to demonize critics.